an all-new Dr. Phil. He married an international bride, then moved in with Mom.
I have a wacko mother.
You're 71 years old. What are you doing living with your mother?
You asked me when I come.
I never asked you to come.
You are a liar, Mother. She has hurt people her whole life. You weren't even faithful to Dad.
All lies.
You have no brains. Hey, Mom, am I still in the will?
Absolutely not.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today is going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Have you ever wondered what happened to some of the most controversial guests after they left the show? Well, today, you're going to find out. Stay tuned for the entire hour because it is jam-packed with unbelievable updates. I'm talking twists and turns in the lives of some of the most talked about guests. What happened to Sabrina, a mother whose family felt she was being scammed by a catfish? And Erica and Josie, two affluent young women who were proud to call themselves spoiled and entitled. You'll find out about these and many more. We first met Bill 4 years ago when he was looking for a mail-order bride in the Ukraine. Bill was on 12 international dating sites, spent $50,000 and had been to Russia and the Ukraine 3 different times where he says he was robbed and kidnapped.
Russian women are more beautiful. They take better care of themselves. I am attracted to beautiful women. Why not? I'm a man.
You say American women, they're not the same.
They've been burned, they've been hurt, they have animosity in many cases. I feel in a way I was forced to look outside this country.
In Ukraine, I experienced violence. I was hit in the jaw by a drunk man. He took the last $2,000 out of my wallet. One of them put a gun to my head. I'm a risk taker. I take chances.
Do you worry why someone that would be a third your age, that could be your daughter, would choose to be with you other than for an ulterior motive?
Well, the 2 women that I'm interested in marrying, they don't want U.S. citizenship, so they don't need my money, and they have never, in over a year, asked me for money.
How do you know all that's true? These beautiful, intelligent, professional women can't find somebody?
I lived there for 8 months. I found a woman I loved and wanted to be with. I wasn't coming back to America, but here I am.
After the show, Bill returned to the Ukraine where he lived for 4 years. He's back with us today and says he has some big news.
After the Dr. Phil show, I did end up going to Ukraine and then to Baku, Azerbaijan, and found a wife.
I met Bill on a dating website. We talked 2 months or 3 months. I liked him and invited him to visit Baku, the capital of Azerbaijan.
I could honestly say I fell in love with her.
After 1 month, we decided to marry.
I lived with my wife for 4 months. We divorced.
He was very unhappy because could not find a job.
And I returned to California. After 4 months of being back in the States, I reconnected with Gulshan. Gulshan wanted to live in America with me. I was living with my mother, so I invited Gulshan to come. My mother was excited. When Gulshan arrived, my mother pulled the rug out from under all of us and told us to leave.
Since I last saw you, a lot has happened. You had been kidnapped.
Yes.
Held at gunpoint.
Yes.
Escaped.
Yes.
Made your way back here. Then you got married. How did y'all meet, by the way?
The dating site.
Dating site?
Yeah, we communicated for about 3 months and got to know each other pretty well.
And I invited him to Baku, Azerbaijan.
And you'd been there about a month and you got married?
If I wanted to remain in Baku, I either had to find a job or marry her. They only give Americans 30 days, a visa, and I didn't want to leave her, so we got married.
And how long were you married, Bill?
2.5 months.
And why did you get a divorce?
I was so busy with my job, and I have a little child, and he cannot find a job in Baku. And my child could not be with us because she was with nanny. So I could not be together with, like family.
You moved back to the U.S. from the Ukraine. Why'd you move back?
I didn't want to come back, but my mother had written me 20 or 30 emails pleading with me to come back. She was telling me that old people are not loved and cared for anymore. She was alone. She was afraid at night. Please come back.
Well, she sent you $1,200 to return to the U.S. from Ukraine. What'd you do with that $1,200?
I lived. I mean, $1,200 is not much money.
Why would you take money from a 90-year-old woman?
Because she owed it to me, and she threw me on the street. What would you do?
Well, I wouldn't take money from a 90-year-old woman.
It's well, not any old woman. It's her, my mother. She made the offer, though, to give me the money. I didn't ask her.
All right, so you get a divorce, but then you stay in touch over 4 years.
When my papa died, I wrote it to Bill, and he suggested me to come to America.
Now, you're married for the second time.
Yes, 4 days ago in Las Vegas.
You were living with your mother again?
She asked me. She said she was sick and dying and nobody loved her.
Has she kicked you out now?
Yeah, she called the police for the umpteenth time.
Why did you decide to move to the U.S. with your 8-year-old daughter?
Because I was so excited to come to America to live with him, with his mother, like family, because his mother was very nice by Skype.
So you've seen him with his mother?
Yes.
Is he abusive to his mother?
No, I didn't see. No.
Are you mean to your mother?
No, I'm not. But I fight back if she attacks me.
She's 90.
Well, you're going to meet her.
No.
Well, yes. Well, let's hear what she has to say about this, okay? Bill says his 90-year-old mother is an evil witch who invited his wife, Goshan, to move to America and then kicked the two of them out of her house just 5 days after Goshan arrived. We're going to talk to his mother right after the break.
Coming up, Dr. Phil updates.
I hate my mother now. She is an evil witch.
One day she said to me, Bill is a liar. He promised me he will rent apartment, move in a separate place. I wanted to cry.
My mother ended up kicking us out using the police.
Bill has no home, he has no car, and he has no money. Now I don't know what to do.
Are you mean to your mother?
No, I'm not. But I fight back if she attacks me.
She's 90.
Well, you're going to meet her.
No.
Well, yes. Well, let's hear what she has to say about this, okay?
I'm afraid of Bill. He just has a terrible temper.
Bill abuses me and treats me horribly. Bill moved back into my house with his new bride from Ukraine. It was very disruptive to my life. They moved my important things out of my dresser and out of my desk. This is some of my stuff that Bill moved into my shed without my permission.
That's a lot. Goshan asked, remove some of the things from the drawers and placed them in the garage. And the moment we started to move some of the things, my mother began attacking verbally. You have touched my things. I don't want you here.
It made me so upset that I cried. I'm afraid of Bill. He just has a terrible temper. He elbowed me in my back because I didn't move it quick enough for him. He should not be treating me this way. I am his mother.
My mother makes things up about me all the time. She can't be trusted.
Bill threatened to take my home and my car. He thinks everything is his instead of mine. He wanted to drive my car without a license, and I said no. He was yelling at me so loud and into my face and saying all kinds of bad things. So I ran into my bedroom and locked the door and followed me. This is where Bill kicked the door.
I never kicked
I
the
finally
door.
had to call the police to have him kicked out. He needs help.
Who he needs help? He?
Bill.
That was
she
about
needs
100% lies.
Well, she's on the phone
Well, she's
right now.
crazy.
Okay, Pearl, are you there?
Yes, I am, Dr. Phil.
Tell me, are you concerned for your safety around your son, Bill?
Yes, I am. And most everything Bill has said to you is a lie.
Do you want him in your home?
I do not want him in my home.
Well, do you change your mind and then next week you're going to want him in your home?
No, no way. I asked him if he drank anymore. He said, I don't drink. I don't smoke cigars. And so I thought he had changed, so I let him come.
Do you drink and smoke cigars?
He never smoke, but he drink beer.
4 years.
Only beer.
She thinks anybody that has a drink, Dr. Phil, one beer, they're alcoholic.
He drinks all day and all night.
She would scream at me, call the cops. I'd go into the garage, try to relax on my desk, and she'd come in screaming at me, "You're an alcoholic," pointing her crooked finger at me, running in the house, locking me out of the house.
You're 71 years old. What are you doing living with your mother?
Well, we're not there anymore.
Well, but seriously, you sound like a teenager living with your parents.
I'm a sophisticated man with great talent.
Right, so why live with your mother?
I have a wacko mother.
So move on.
I have moved on.
But now you're homeless. But you're saying the reason you came home is because she begged you. She's now releasing you from that. But maybe you came a little quickly from Ukraine to here.
Yes, she did.
You asked me when I come.
Goshen, I never asked you to come here.
I'm high graduated. I'm a master degree of biology. I could be I could be live in Baku normally. But I excited, they suggested me to come, to live here. I wanted to start, to begin new life
But
here.
you're here now.
Yes.
Not for long, probably. We're talking about going back.
No, I want to prove to your mama that I can't to stay here without her help. I don't need your help. Thank you for all.
I gave you clothes, Goshen. I gave you nice clothes, and I loved you.
And I gave you nice, expensive...
Okay, hold on. Time out. The thing is, yeah, I'm a realist, and you're here now.
I know, but I'm so upset. I want to prove her. I can't stay here if I want. I want to ask her before we move why she lied to me, why she said she need help.
I never lied to her. I never told her that. I never asked you to come.
How do you rectify a woman who invited her to come along with me on Skype more than once, 2, 3, 4 times, who treated her so nice at the house and then boots her out when she didn't do anything but do housework for her and cooking?
Never, Bill. It's a bunch of lies.
This is a witch.
You said you love me, but you don't love. It's not love. It's not human.
Goshen,
I know my rights. I have little child, and this child protected by law.
I never, ever asked you to come. Never.
You are a liar, Mother. You know, I told you so many times before she came. I said, will you promise me to be nice to her and welcome her into the family? Oh, yes, I will. Bill, I'm a Christian. This is a lying woman, Phil.
You're all lies, all lies.
You have no brains.
Coming up.
I'm as good as Frank. They call me the Sinatra of Ukraine.
We're back with unforgettable Dr. Phil updates.
No one likes her. 7 neighbors on the street won't even speak to her because of her attitude. You have no brains.
I just saw Bill yelling at you and telling you have no brains. So that's pretty abusive to me, and he's doing that here in front of me. I can only imagine what he does when I'm not there, so I suspect that he's pretty ugly with you.
Oh, he is.
Do you want him in your home or you don't?
I don't.
And you don't me in your home?
No, Goshen.
You're a grown woman, you're 90 years old, and you're entitled to the peaceable existence of your home. You can't give mixed messages. You can't say one day I don't want you here and the next day I do. So you have to decide.
I have already decided all his things are out of here in storage someplace. He has been trouble for years and years.
She has hurt people her whole life. You weren't even faithful to Dad.
All lies, Bill.
You weren't.
You two have each other and this 8-year-old daughter, and I'm sure she's lovely. Seeing you, she must be lovely. You're both able-bodied and can make your own way.
We can, and we will try.
You can work today.
She's not allowed to work here. She doesn't have a work visa.
There's things you can do. I mean, you can certainly get a job here in LA.
We will
doing
try.
What?
You get a job doing all kinds of things. You're a talented guy. I bet you can get work before dark today. I mean, if it's what you have to do, it's what you have to do.
I sang for 25 years. Frank Sinatra got me my first secular singing job. I wanted to be like Sinatra.
All lies.
I'm as good as Frank. They call me the Sinatra of Ukraine. When I walk down the street, hello, Mr. Sinatra. I pack out all the theaters, and I only make like $120 when I sing for 5,000 people. I can't get a job in this country, not in what, 10, 12, 15 years singing. This woman here, yes, she paid for my voice lessons. I appreciate that, Mama.
It's because of your personality, Bill. Your personality is bad.
Have you heard me sing yet?
No.
Come on home, come on home. You've been running too long, yeah. Come on home, come on home. My house is where you belong. So come on home. It's a repetitive kind of song. And it's got a full orchestra.
It's got a good voice, though.
I had #1 album in America in 1980, but I never had an agent. I never had anybody that could promote me. All my promotion, even in Ukraine and Russia and wherever I've been, has been on my own because that woman and my father never appreciated me.
Bill, you had a wonderful father.
My mother told me just before she kicked me out of the house 5 years ago, you're not a good singer, you're too old. I never had their support.
That's a lie. All a bunch of lies. I'm sorry, Bill.
Well, that was then. This is now. So where are y'all living now?
We've called relatives, people I know. Nobody will help us with money or a place.
Neighbors.
But I don't have any money now. We don't know where to go.
Even we don't know where we will sleep this night.
She doesn't want you there.
No, we don't want to be there.
So you don't want to be there.
Hey, Mom, am I still in the will?
Absolutely not.
See, she took me out of the will.
She needs
All right, well,
mental help.
But you're with Bill, and obviously they have relationship problems here. I've not had the pleasure of meeting you, but you sound to me to be of sound mind.
I am.
And so I think you're entitled to decide who you want to be around you and who you don't.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you want to be by yourself and not be around Bill, then that's certainly your privilege.
Thank you.
At least that conflict is over with.
Yes.
And
yes.
I'm glad for the update. It's good to meet you, Bill.
Thank you.
It's good to see you. We're going to be keeping an eye on Bill and Goshan, trust me. Now remember Sarah, the extremely passionate daughter who I gave my chair to when she last appeared on the show? She was angry that her mother was being scammed out of her entire life savings by a man she met on a dating site, but never in person. You will not want to miss this update next.
We're back with unforgettable Dr. Phil updates.
Over the years, we have had several guests on the show who say they were scammed online by a catfish. When Sarah reached out to us 2 years ago, she was at her wit's end because she believed her mother, Sabrina, gave her entire life savings, about $272,000, to a man she met on a dating site, but not in person, who promised to marry her and pay her back all her money with interest. Well, things got even more complicated when a Dr. Phil first happened. Sabrina's alleged catfish called her on her cell phone while she was on stage talking to me.
I don't think my mom has ever been this stupid in her life. I'm at my wit's end and I don't know what to do anymore. My mom gave away her retirement and everything she has, all for a photoshopped person.
Does it bother you that you've never seen or met this guy?
Yes.
The place that he says he works does not exist. This is possibly a picture scammed off the internet and then made up names and information. If you notice in his passport picture, there's a woman in the background. This is fake passport.
I told her all these things. Every time I would do it, she would stick up for him and say, he's not going to tell me everything until he gets here. It makes me so hurt and angry. Is that him calling you right now?
Yes, it's him.
Well, let me talk to you.
See, I told you.
Can you hear me okay? Where are you right now? Let me have your street address.
I'm going to have to talk to Sabrina about it.
You are a scumbag scam artist, and we know who you are, and you're going to give this lady her money back. What do you think of that? This guy's a fraud.
He knows how to get you, Mama. I've told you that a million times.
You got me good.
Look me in the eye and tell me you know this was a scam.
Dr. Phil, I get it. I've been scammed.
Sarah says it was still a bit rocky after the taping of the show, but she has great news about her mother, Sabrina.
Hi, Dr. Phil. It's Sarah. Since the show, my mom, Sabrina, ended up losing her home and moved in with my husband and I. We did find out later that my mom was still communicating with him and told her he did love her and did live in Nigeria. He wanted to move here so they could get married. I knew that it was to obtain citizenship and that he was just trying to scam her all over again. She did end up stopping communication with him and now has been in a relationship for the past 4 months with a really nice guy, and I'm hoping for the best. Thanks, Dr. Phil.
Sabrina, all of us at Dr. Phil are very happy for you, and we are rooting for your happiness. Okay, let's switch gears a bit to parents Rick and Joanne, who came to me twice begging for help with their then 19-year-old son, Michael. Now, even though they claimed he was a liar with no remorse or guilt, they continued to enable his behavior while he stole from them to fuel his addiction to opiates.
I started using ADHD drugs when I was in 10th grade, and I moved on to Oxycontins. Before I knew it, I was taking 300 or more milligrams a day.
We know that your son is a drug addict. You've bailed him out time and time again. You've even paid his drug dealer. We also know that he's robbing his own family.
Right.
He's playing you like a fiddle, and maybe you're not ready.
I'm totally ready to save his life.
I can put you in a medical facility. Are you willing to do this? Yes or no?
Yes.
After their first appearance here, I sent Michael to La Hacienda Treatment Center in Texas. Now, he completed the program. When he got through there, they said he needs to go to a recovery center. Instead, you got him an apartment.
Right.
He relapsed shortly after that. They asked for more help, so we set up an intervention for Michael at his house.
I look at this as maybe our last hope.
Ready to go get back on.
Okay. This will be the difficult part. Your demons are killing our family. Where are you going to be 6 months from now? You're going to be dead? I'm begging you.
I'm not. I don't care. I'm not going down there.
There's a doctor downstairs that I want you to talk to. If he comes up here, will you talk to him?
I made a mistake when I sent him to rehab before. You weren't prepared to do anything required to save his life. We're doing this again. We've put him back in rehab again. He's getting treatment. He's making changes. You are not. If you continue to interact with him the same way, he has no chance of success.
I'm at the point where, it's in your hands. You guys take it and run with it, and we'll do whatever it takes.
It's been 6 years since Michael left treatment for the second time, and his parents say he has made some remarkable changes in his life.
Hello, Dr. Phil.
Hi, Dr. Phil. I'm proud to say that Michael is 6 years sober in February. He's part of a growing company and just got married. He's just doing awesome, and we just can't thank you enough, your staff and your producers, for all the help that you guys have given us.
Dr. Phil, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I talked to Michael on Polycom. Here's what he had to say. Hey, Michael, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am good. Now, you went to La Hacienda for 30 days, and you've been clean now for 6 years, right?
Yes, sir, I have.
When you were here, we really wanted you to go to treatment, and you were about halfway in, and you got in touch with your parents and said, I want out of here, I want to go home. What do you say to parents if they get that call from their kid in rehab that says, hey, I want out of here?
To be honest, whenever I got separated for 5 months to 6 months from them and really had a chance to look at where my life was going, the parents really need to step away and let professionals do what they're paid to do. In hindsight, my parents stepping away from trying to help me was a huge part of saving my life.
Well, in looking back, how do you feel now about having come to the Dr. Phil show and gone down that path?
I am at such a debt for what you, especially, and your staff did for me. When you're in active addiction, the last thing you want someone to do is try to stop you. And for you to give me another chance to turn my life around, I'm so grateful for.
I am in your balcony cheering you on, my friend. I just want you to know that.
I truly believe that I wouldn't be here without you, so I'm so thankful for you guys and what you did for me and my family.
Take care, and God bless you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Phil.
So long, Michael. Next, we'll catch up with a meddling mother who admittedly used money to control every aspect of her adult son's life. Has she changed, or is he still being held by her purse strings?
We're back with unforgettable Dr. Phil updates.
When Margaret last appeared on the show 4 years ago, she was a controlling, meddling, manipulative mother who admitted to crossing boundaries with her then 33-year-old son, Reed. She allowed her son to live in a house she owned, gave him a job running errands for her, paid for his insurance, vacations, cars, and even offered to give Reed a ring to propose to his then girlfriend.
My mom tries to control everything in my life. What I wear, to who I date.
I refuse to let him fail. I do everything that I do out of my love for him. I have paid for Reed's schooling, cars, trips, everything that I felt would help him to become the person that I wanted him to be.
My mom treats me like a child.
I treat him the same way as I do my customers. If they don't call me back, I'll call them until I get an answer. But I'm not gonna be ignored.
How old are you?
I'm 33, almost 34.
Okay. Are you tough to deal with?
Absolutely.
So what is your motive?
I do not want him to fail.
You couldn't be programming him more for failure if you got up 30 minutes before he did every day and tied his arms and legs.
I just want him to be able to do it on his own.
How is he going to do that if you call him 10 times in the morning to wake him up?
Return my first call.
Well, look, maybe he's too busy.
Doing what?
Maybe he's out in the backyard sucking on a rock and staring at the sun. I don't know. You offered him $20,000 to get a divorce?
I said, if you are sure you want a divorce, I will take care of it.
You need to step up, man up, and own your own life. If that means that you have to put up a wall and put up boundaries with her, then that's what you have to do. You're going to have to understand, I don't have to force or buy or bribe or sneak my way into his life. If I'll just sit back and relax, I will be invited in.
I think you're right, and that's what I want.
But will you give it a chance to let it happen?
I will give it 100%.
The last time I talked to Margaret and Reed, he said that he would never have a life of his own until his mother was dead. Well, Margaret is still with us, so let's hear how they're doing.
Hey, Dr. Phil, it's Reed. It's been 4 years since my mom and I were on your show. You told me that the cord cut on two ends, and I snipped it on mine. Matter of fact, on the way home, even on the airplane, she started back again immediately. She looked at me and said, "I can't believe you want me dead," trying her little guilt trips. So I got up, switched seats, and we went our separate ways. I didn't contact her for the entire 3 months. Fast forward 4 years, and things are a lot better. She still tries her manipulation every once in a while, but she's met with resistance. I call her out on it, and the best part about it is it's guilt-free.
Hey, Dr. Phil, you gave us the opportunity to put our relationship back together. I have tried real hard not to be controlling and to let him make his own decisions. And believe me, his decisions were a lot better than mine. He married a sweet girl, Mandy. I love her to death. Without the opportunity to be on your show and you're giving us advice, we wouldn't be where we are right now. Thank you again, Dr. Phil, for everything.
Going on your show was one of the best things I could have done. Dr. Phil, thank you again. I can't say it enough. 4 years, and we're doing great.
Viewers often wondered what happened to another mother, Sarah, whose story made headlines in 2005 when one of her twin boys, 13-year-old Gabriel, accidentally hanged himself while playing a deadly game that was a popular teen trend.
13-year-old Gabriel died recently while playing the choking game.
My son is dead. I should have known the warning signs. I can remember hearing like a thud. I ran to the room. My child was unconscious with a rope around his neck, and I hollered at Sammy to call 911.
911? My brother might be dead. Okay, why do you think he's dead? Because there's a rope around his neck down there on bed and he's all purple and stuff.
I'm consumed by what happened to Gabriel. I have so much guilt. Lost a lot of weight, can't sleep. Samuel's on the sidelines, and I'm just not available.
My mom is unavailable. I was trying to talk to like a semi-conscious person.
Our relationship is in trouble.
You're worried about your mother too, aren't you?
Yeah.
You understand you can't run away. I tell you, there's an old saying, you can run, but you'll just die tired. You cannot escape. It is not a betrayal of that young man's memory for you to find joy in your life with his brother. It is not a betrayal of Gabriel for you to say, I have to let you go. If you want to save a child, start with this one. It's now 11 years later. Let's hear how Sarah and Samuel are getting on.
Since doing the show, life has gotten a lot better. My daughter was married and my oldest son was married. I have 5 grandchildren, and Samuel is brilliant in the IT industry. I have recently moved and changed jobs. I now take care of 2 of my grandchildren as a granny nanny. Also, I started a personal website called StillLovingMyGabriel.com. It's an informative website, but mostly a personal website. I'll always be grateful to the Dr. Phil Show. Life is good.
Our next guest caused a lot of controversy with our viewers when they admitted to being spoiled and entitled and proud of it. Erica claims she was a princess and wore a crown to prove it. Josie expected the man of her dreams to be rich, tall, and living in Beverly Hills. Where are they now in their lives? Well, we're going to find out. In 2010, Josie and Erica appeared on the show about spoiled and entitled 20-somethings whose parents showered them with designer clothes, plastic surgery, and luxury cars. They wanted to be famous, wealthy, and move up the ladder without having to really work for it.
I'm Erica. I definitely grew up wealthy and privileged. This is my tiara collection. I definitely think of myself as a princess. That's why I'm wearing my tiara, because it just helps me bring out my inner princess. My parents pay my rent, they give me an allowance. I spend most of my allowance maintaining my appearance.
Now, you describe yourself as a princess.
Yes.
And you like attention.
Yes. I think everyone's surprised that I'm in law school. I want to be like a younger, hotter version of Nancy Grace or Judge Judy. I have my own court show called Legally Erica.
You say it cost a minimum of 10 grand to be you?
A month? I think so, but I'm not sure.
My daughter is not spoiled rotten. My daughter is spoiled right. To people who think my daughter is spoiled and entitled, I wonder, don't you wish the best for your child?
I think my mom's a great parent. There are a lot of things that I don't know how to do, but I hope that I don't have to do them.
I asked Erica to bring some of the things that she can't live without. The tiaras. You've estimated the cost here to be about $40,000. Diamond earrings, $20,000. A diamond watch, $5,000. We're talking a total of $83,120. You could send 3 kids to college for 4 years. You could cash out and feed everybody in the neighborhood.
I'm Josie. I'm 28 years old, I'm spoiled and entitled, and there's nothing wrong with that.
She's a typical Jewish American princess.
I drive a 3 Series BMW. My parents bought me a condo. I'm determined to marry an A-list director, producer, who's tall, handsome, Jewish, professional, and yes, who could open a couple doors to my career. Because I don't want to have to settle by marrying a 5'9", 9-to-5er and driving my Honda.
Where would we have seen you?
I was on a hit show, Farmer Wants a Wife, and page 6 twice this year on the New York Post.
You consider it an accomplishment that you got your name on page 6?
Absolutely, for the celebrity section, absolutely.
Josie brought with her what she refers to as her team.
First, I have my celebrity stylist, my healer, my glamour photographer, and my manager and publicist.
Do you pay for all these people?
Yes, I do.
You said, I was raised to believe that if you lived the right way, you'd marry a rich, handsome man that could afford and offer luxury.
Yes.
Your mother taught you that?
My mother always taught me, since I'm tall, I'm good looking, I'm highly educated, that I deserve a man of my caliber.
Well, let's find out where her dreams have landed her 6 years later.
Hello, Dr. Phil. This is Josie Goldberg, aka Spoiled and Entitled. After the show aired, like Johnny Cochran said, I had the run of my life. I was up for a big show called Luck, and the director didn't give me the part. So being, you know, the Josie Goldberg that I am, I used these Josie legs and I trotted down to Santa Anita racetrack where the show was filming. As luck would have it, I bumped into a famous breeder, and before I knew it, they gave me 3 thoroughbred racehorses. And of course, they named one of them Spoiled and Entitled. The other one they named was Only Josie Knows. I developed Only Josie Knows into a champion. Everywhere I was going, everybody would say, "Hey, Spoiled and Entitled, how are you?" And I realized this is a good name for a brand. I opened up a corporation. I developed a jewelry line, a clothing line. When I was on your show, Dr. Phil, you gave me some tough love. And you were right, you don't just wake up and pop out of the gate and win. I realized, Dr. Phil, I'm a winner. Thank you, Dr. Phil.
Erica also wanted to marry a rich man and wore a crown to remind people she was a princess. She had dreams of becoming a lawyer like Reese Witherspoon's character, Elle Woods, in her favorite movie, Legally Blonde. So whatever happened to Erica?
Hi, Dr. Phil. It's Erica Rose, and this is my daughter, Holland. She is 5 months old. Since going on your show, one huge change in my life is that now I'm a mom. But before I had her, I graduated law school, and then I got a job in family law. And right now, I'm focusing all my energy on being the best mom that I can be. I love being a mom so much. It really gives me so much purpose in life. Thank you for letting me give an update. I'll check in with you guys later.
We're moving from a spoiled and entitled 20-somethings to 27-year-old Lindsay, who says at the young age of 13, she became a maiden, one of 10 girls spiritually married to Victor Barnard, the leader of a religious sect called River Road Fellowship.
We're back with unforgettable Dr. Phil updates.
In 2014, I spoke to a young woman named Lindsay who claimed her parents handed her over to alleged cult leader Victor Barnard, who she says abused her. Lindsay says Victor called all firstborn girls to be sacrificed unto God and moved to his compound, Shepherd's Camp, where she was told it was normal for her to have sex with him because he was Christ in the flesh.
I was trapped in a religious group and kept as a sexual maiden by Victor Barnard for 9 years. All of us girls lived together in one house. We gave him massages, cut his hair. We even cut his toenails. He would have sex with me, sometimes 5 times a month. It was clear to me that my parents weren't going to stop it.
Why did you just leave me there?
I didn't know all those things were happening.
You still don't own this till today, though, do you? He made radical interpretations of scriptures that you knew well. Bring me your firstborn daughters. Exodus 13:2. Don't say that. He described himself as Christ in the flesh. You are responsible for abandoning your daughter to this creep. And this child is a 100% victim. I want to make a gift to you of help to give you the clarity and the strength that you need.
Thank you so much.
We very much want to do that too. And I'm going to also offer you some help here. And if I get you that help, will you take that help?
Absolutely.
Victor is currently on the run, and I hope he pays for what he did to me.
The search is on for the former leader of River Road Fellowship.
Victor Barnard fled the camp with some of his religious followers and with police in pursuit.
After the show aired, Victor Barnard was taken into custody in Brazil after being on the run for almost a year.
The search for an accused cult leader from Minnesota is now over. Victor Barnard was arrested yesterday in Brazil.
They found Victor Barnard in a beachside condo.
Photos show a man Lindsay Ensley describes as less powerful than she remembers, ragged.
I'm definitely angry and sad. He tore our family apart and stole my virginity.
Ensley says Barnard still controlled his followers from afar.
An alleged Minnesota cult leader on the U.S. Marshals Most Wanted list is now awaiting extradition back to the United States.
Victor faces 1 count of felony first-degree criminal sexual conduct with a person under 13 years of age. 45 counts of felony first-degree criminal sexual conduct by a person in a position of authority with a person between the ages of 15 and 13 years. 13 counts of felony third-degree criminal sexual conduct by a member or purported member of the clergy. I want to thank all of my guests for updating us on how they're doing. We'll see you next time.
Everybody has some secrets. Everybody has a past. Don't wanna be caught up on seeking how you work, 'cause all I care about is how you feel about me now. Ain't got time to play around. Just tell me what to do. Tell me how you feel. I don't wanna see no filter. Please don't waste my time. I've been way more than familiar with those type of guys that don't know what they want, falling back to square one. I've been wondering, is it really that hard just to follow your heart? Nothing's guaranteed, but I still want some certainty. I wanna believe in a future for you and me. Nothing's guaranteed, but I still want some certainty. I wanna believe in a future for you and me. It's hard enough to trust somebody, hard enough to trust yourself. Might be better safe than sorry. Are you seeing someone else? I'm asking 'cause my heart is still healing from the previous toxic thing. Now could you be my cure, or will I be ignored? I don't wanna see no filter. Please don't waste my time. I've been way more than familiar with those type of guys that don't know what they want, falling back to square one. Is it really that hard just to follow your heart? Nothing's guaranteed, but I still want some certainty. I wanna believe in a future for you and me. Nothing's guaranteed, but I still want some certainty. I wanna believe in a future for you.